Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the live album, Live After Death by Iron Maiden. Yes, like I said, a few things came in early. This is one of them. It arrived yesterday. Yeah. So this was released in I think. Oh yeah, 1985, because this was after Power Slave, but before, somewhere in time. This was recorded during the Power Slave tour. Um, yeah, so, um, of course, this features the classic 80s lineup. Of course, Bruce Dickinson on, vocals, Nicky McBrain on drums, Steve Harris on bass, and, Dave Murray and Adrian Smith on guitar. This was also recorded during the tour, like I think it was recorded. Yeah, it was recorded like at the very end of the tour when they performed at Long Beach Arena. Um, so yeah. Anyway, this is the artwork. Um, I'd say it's definitely one of my favorite artworks concerning a live album by Iron Maiden. Not my absolute favorite, but one of my favorites. Um, I love how Eddie's sort of just breaking out of the ground. Oh yeah, and Eddie has his hair back. Yeah, Eddie, up until this point didn't have hair for a long time after he got a lobotomy. But it looks like he grew his hair back. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, then he's like breaking out of the ground, and there's like a grave there, and there's like fire coming out, almost like he's breaking through the pits of hell up to the living world. And then I love on this gravestone, it says it's his name and then R.I.P. of course, but on the very top you can't really see it, but it's a H.P. Lovecraft quote. It says oh yeah, the quote is, "That is not dead which can eternal lie, yet even with strange eons, even death may die." Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the back is just a continuation of the artwork. Oh yeah, this is one of those albums that the artwork continues on the back. But it's kind of ruined by the spine here. Oh yeah, and then the inside is a picture of the stage. Steve Harris, close up with Steve Harris, and then the Pharaoh Eddie statue thing. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, but yep, there you go. And there's Bruce right there. And then I think, yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and this is a 2-disc album. I know at one point there was a 1-disc version for some bizarre reason, but this is a 2-disc one. Oh, and this is a re-release, the most recent re-release, from the 2015 series. But I think there was another version around this time that. Okay, so like I said, there's a 1-disc version. Just like there was a 1-disc version of the Rock in Rio live album, but I don't know. There was I don't know why there just was, but anyway. So yeah, this is the 2-disc version, and yeah, this is actually a pretty thick album too. Look at that. Look at how thick that is. A thick boy. Anyway, so with all that out of the way, the actual songs. Okay, so it starts off with the intro to Aces High. Every time they would play Aces High, they would play like an intro to it. It was the Winston Churchill speech. But then, of course, it goes into Aces High. One of my favorite versions of the song, although I do prefer the studio version. This live version is still really, really good. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer this live version or the live version from the Flight 666 tour. I don't know. I think the Flight 666 tour one was a lot better, in my opinion. But this one's still really, really good. I like it. And then it goes into 2 Minutes to Midnight, which is also a really great live version. Probably my favorite live version of that song. Then, of course, it goes into The Trooper, Um, even though I think this is a great live version, it's probably my third favorite live version. Here's the thing. I really like the live version from the Book of Souls, the live chapter, that live album, and then I really like the version from Beast Over Hammersmith, in the Fight 666 tour, and In Vivo. I can't decide which one's my absolute favorite, but I guess the Book of Souls version is the live version from the Book of Souls tour is probably my favorite. But this is still a really good version. I really like this version. Revelations is an okay song. I mean, this okay live version. I think it's still pretty good. Flight of Icarus is a pretty good. This live version is pretty good. Um, uh, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. This version. I think it's my third favorite version overall. I'd say my favorite version of Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner has to be the Flight 666 version, and then my second favorite would definitely be the studio version, and then probably this one would be my third favorite version. Power Slave, pretty good one. I actually kind of do prefer this one over the actual studio version. Just has a lot more energy and life to it. Okay, although here's where the album kind of dips down in quality for me is starting with the track the Number of the Beast, because here's the thing. This was recorded at the tail end of the tour, and at this point, Bruce's voice started to really started to really strain, and you could tell he was getting really, really tired, and he's really straining his voice at this point in time in the tour. Yeah, so because of that, I mean, you can't. I mean, he sounds okay throughout the beginning half of this album, but then starting with the Number of the Beast, you could really hear he's really straining. You could tell he's like extremely exhausted. But yeah, even though musically it's good, everyone else does a pretty good job. Bruce's voice just is pretty terrible. So yeah, definitely my least favorite version of the song. Same thing with Hallowed Be Thy Name. Bruce's voice just kind of is really sort of really straining. You could tell he's really getting tired. Let's see. Although he does a pretty good job on Iron Maiden, though. I love this song. Like, I love any version of this song. Like, even with Bruce, whether it be Bruce or Paul, I love this song so much. This is a pretty good version. Not my absolute favorite version, but it's pretty good. Run to the Hills is pretty good. This is a pretty good version of Run to the Hills. And then the first disc ends with Running Free. It has my favorite moment from the live album, where there's this one part where Bruce stops singing and it's just like the bass line for a while, and then Bruce is sort of like interacting with the audience, where he's like, "Oh, the right side, scream this something like I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's like, oh yeah, and oh yeah, like the left side do this, left side do that, whatever." Left side do this, right side do that, and stuff like that. And then in the middle of that, like after he says that, he goes and like it's something he says something along the lines of like, he says like, "Oh, scream as loud as you can," or something like that. And then he says something that extremely hilarious to me, where he's like, it's like, "Scream as loud as you can. I want to be able to go back to England and go to the doctor and say Long Beach fucked up my hearing." But yeah, that really got a laugh out of me. I love that part. Yeah, it was absolutely hysterical. But yeah, probably my favorite moment from the entire album. I absolutely love it. But yeah, that's a really good version of Running Free. Let's see, and then the second disc starts off with Wrathchild. This is a pretty good version, although I like the Paul singing it better, but it's still pretty good. Bruce does a pretty good job on this one. 22 Acacia Avenue is next. I actually don't know whether I like the studio version of this song better or this live version better. That's how much I actually like them. Probably it's definitely one of my favorites from this album. It's really, really good. Then it goes into Children of the Damned. I don't like the song overall, so why would I like the live version? But yeah, nah. Die with the Boots On is another one I just don't like. Um, but this live album ends with an amazing live album close. Phantom of the Opera. Um, Even though I do prefer Paul Di'Anno singing this song, Bruce does an amazing job. Like, he really does an amazing job. Even better than him singing Wrathchild on here. Like, this is just an amazing song. And Bruce does an awesome job. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. So overall, yes, it is an extremely, extremely overrated and overhyped live album. It's definitely not their best, but at the same time, it's definitely not their worst. That would come later on during the Blaze Bayley era. But it's just overall, I'm gonna give it, a 6 out of 10. Definitely has some really, really good moments, but it also has some really, really bad moments. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Oh, and before I end this review, I want to actually show you the booklet, because it does have a lot of pictures in it of the show. Hold on, if we can get it out of here. There we go. So, yeah, the booklet does have a lot of pictures of the show. Oh yeah, and it does have the artwork on the back, and this is the full artwork. Oh, and thankfully this booklet... Okay, so unlike the booklet from the 25th anniversary edition of Defenders of the Faith, which just had the pictures of the live show that went with it, this one not only has the pictures of the live show, but it does have the lyrics as well. The lyrics to the songs as well, so that's pretty good. Here's a collage. The first page right... Oh, jeez. Spine is tearing. Yikes. You can see the spine of the booklet's tearing. That's not good. Probably gonna actually have to staple this section right here so it doesn't fall apart. But anyway, so this is just a collage of the band members right here. See, there's Dave, there's Steve, Bruce, Nico, Adrian. And then lyrics. Here we go. Nico. I love. Okay, so you see, there's the band members, and Nico is like, I think it's like donuts on his face. Like, are those donuts? No, there's some weird sort of goggle thing. I don't know. They look like goggles right here. They look like goggles, or just some weird thing. I don't know. It's pretty funny. I have some sunglasses here. And then there's Steve there. Steve Harris right there. And there's some fans up there. And then Bruce right here. Let's see. There's some more pictures of the band. Just them right there. Steve Harris and Bruce. And just some pictures from the show. And then there's an up close. Wait, who's that one? Yeah, I think that's Adrian. Yep, that's Adrian. He's just like, he's a weird hat on, but like the hat is covering most of his face. And then there's some more pictures. There's them next to up here, I think. Steve, go. Oh, and then there's the animatronic Mummy Eddie. And then there's more. What the hell kind of face is this? Look at that. Look at Bruce. Oh my god, that's hilarious. What kind of face is that? Ah. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Like, what? What kind of facial expression is that? Like, why does it look like... Okay, so for you guys who've seen Indiana Jones, the first one, remember the facial expressions the Nazis made when like the ghosts went up to them and like their faces started melting? That kind of reminds me of that. He's like, ah, kind of I don't know. This facial expression is hilarious to me for some reason. Um, and there's Dave Murray right there. Oh, and then there's the giant animatronic mummy Eddie in his full glory. Look how huge that is too. Oh, and funny story with that animatronic of Eddie. Um, apparently right after the tour, I guess when they were loading up, someone somehow stole the torso of that Eddie. Okay, so they stole I guess it was like the way they were shipping it, they had to take it apart. But apparently someone stole the giant torso, which one is really odd. Okay, for two different reasons, very odd. One, you would think if someone would steal anything, it would be the head, right? It just looks a lot cooler than just like a torso, or whatever. The head, or maybe one of the arms. And another thing is, yeah, first off, why the torso? And secondly, how the hell did no one notice? Like, seriously, a giant animatronic torso. You would think you would need, they would need a truck or something for that. I don't know how no one noticed it. Someone was stealing it. Like, I don't know. Just one of the weird things that happened. Oh, something weird that happened. But yeah, so that's the booklet. All right. So yeah. So that's my no. That's my review for I wanted to say Live Undead for some reason. No, Live After Death. By Iron Maiden. Their third live album. So yeah. Oh, also before I end the video, yeah, I'm gonna mention that this is my last video for today. I'll probably upload at least 2 videos tomorrow if I'm not too busy. But yeah, so that's it for this review, and I'll see you guys next time.